peeling away the obscuring layers of the other plane to reveal her features as she became as dead and inanimate as the furniture surrounding us. Long golden hair, iconic red cat-eye glasses sitting askew over dull, lifeless blue eyes, a 50s-style white blouse with tiny red polka dots and red stitching, one button popped at her neck. My target, Meredith Montague. I'd never been around someone at the moment of their death, so I had no idea if her spirit would join me on the other plane. I didn't know if I wanted that or not, to be honest. There should be something more than her body on the ground, as inert as the chair beside her, but what would I say? I didn't want to be the one to explain to her that her life was over. But there was no mystical light and no indication that Meredith's soul would come shake my hand on its way to her final destination. The man sat back on his heels, his hands resting on his thighs as he looked at the body on the floor. Then he got up. I watched him warily, shrinking back as he got close. His shape was weird. On the other plane, most people's figures were muted and obscured, as though they were wrapped in layers and layers of translucent gauze. But this man, his figure was the dark slate gray of an impending storm. It had jagged edges, as though 1,000 razors extended from his clothes and skin. An aura of danger surrounded him. Not an actual visual aura, since even in the other plane I had no ability to see that kind of thing. It was more of a sense, a warning that this was someone I did not want to mess with, a warning that went beyond what I'd witnessed. He gave no indication he saw me as he made his way to the sidebar, looked out over the grounds lit in the late afternoon sunshine for a moment, and then poured himself a drink. With a dead body on the floor behind him, he poured himself a drink. In some ways, the casualness was more horrifying than the murder. I mean, I could be callous and self-centered, but not on the level of ignoring a dead body in the room. But the murderer, the monster, sipped his drink slowly, as though he had the right to be there. I shook with the need to leave, to go, to pretend the past hour hadn't happened. Rising from where I was hunched behind the desk, I started for the wall with the big window overlooking the gardens, only to freeze as I realized the murderer's eyes were locked on me. They were blacker than black, fathomless pits that would have probably looked like normal everyday human eyes were I not in the other plane. But they sent a chill racing through me. Fear, horror, wrongness. I begged my feet to move, and this time they did. I raced through the wall, out of the house and away, welcoming the numbness that spread through my brain and body. I managed to make it a block away before I threw up. 911, what's your emergency? My grip tightened on the payphone's receiver as I tried to force the words out, but they wouldn't come. Hello? Come on, Wes, don't fuck this up too. Murder, I whispered. Sir, please speak up. Someone was killed. Meredith Montague, at her house. He strangled her. I'll alert paramedics and police. Is she breathing? She's dead. What's the address? I knew it. I'd researched it and memorized it. Memorized the house itself for the job that had just turned tits up in a spectacular way. But could I think of it in this moment? Not a single digit. It's Meredith Montague. I'll need the address, sir. Forest Hill. Sir, I hung up, shoved my gloved hands in my jean pockets and walked down the street, trying not to look as guilty as I felt. Moments later, a cacophony of sirens slashed through the afternoon bustle, competing with the regular sounds of traffic, and I shivered. Despite the sun beating down on me with an intensity that seemed too much for a late spring day, my innards were nothing more than a block of ice. I wondered if I'd ever be warm again. I didn't remember how I got back to my apartment. I mean, I must have retrieved my car and driven back, but the specifics hadn't imprinted on my brain. Normally, coming home to the character and serenity of the converted manor house was cause for a sigh of relief, but not now. Time skipped and jumped, and the next thing I knew, someone was pounding on my door. Wes? The voice was muffled, but I'd recognize it anywhere. Lexi Astor, my best friend, confidant, platonic soul.